Hello guys, Crudless here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play World of Warcraft Leveling Legacy. So now we are almost done with all the race starting areas. Today we're going to continue off with our Tauren Druid in our good old Tauren starting area. So let's jump into our character here and start the show.
Great tragedy has rocked the Tauren tribes and shaken their once stalwart devotion to the Horde. A disagreement between the new Orc war chief, Garrosh Hellscream, and the beloved Tauren chieftain, Cairn Bloodhoof, led to a duel that ended in Cairn's death. With his loss, the vile matriarch Magatha Grimtotem launched a murderous attack, attempting to seize control of Thunder Bluff for herself. However, Cairn's brave son, Bane Bloodhoof, successfully repelled the attack and banished the surviving Grimtotem to the farthest reaches of the land. Under Bane's hopeful leadership, the Tauren people now seek to heal their wounds and restore the balance between the various factions of the Horde. To this end, a new generation of Tauren Sunwalkers has arisen to lead their people into the light of a new dawn and the promise of rebirth. As a proud tribesman of Mulgore, you must uphold the honor of your people and safeguard the lands of your ancestors.
So we are here in Mulgore, situated right here in the middle of Kalimdor. So it's been a while since we were on a Horde character. It did take a lot of time to finish off Gilneas, and I thought it would be a good idea to continue off with a character that focused on the balance of the world. So in the Worgen starting zone, we talked a lot about the balance between, we learned about the balance between the rage inside and the control of the wolf body. And this time we are continuing off with a balanced druid. Well, a druid starting off, first of all. One of the classes that is exclusive to the trolls, the druids, the night elves, and the Worgen. So I figured it would be a good idea to pick a Tauren Druid, one of the original druids from back in vanilla. Originally, only the druids and the night elves could be the druids and the night elves. Only the night elves and the Tauren could be druids. So yeah, let's start off here by talking to Chief Hawkwyn, and then I'll recap what the narrator talked about previously. What you see here is the work of the Quillboar, young one. Year after year, they have encroached on our village. The great cataclysm finally drove them from their dens to spread like locusts across the land. And now you see the results, my own mother dead from their savagery. Today you are of age. Today you will take up your weapon and fight for the tribe and avenge the great mother. Follow the path to the east and find my son Gruul. He will lead you in our strike against the Quillboar. Now, it's been a long time since we met the Quillboar the last time. That was all the way back in Durotar. And the Quillboar, well, they are native to Kalimdor. These are the bristleback Quillboar. These are... Oh, I didn't really have to kill this guy, but I'm just going to attack him while I talk about this. We also need to turn on a couple of settings and stuff, so I'm going to fix that. Hang on. So yeah, the intro cinematic there, it talked about didn't talk anything about the Quillboar. It talked a lot about the Grim Totems. It talked about Cairn Bloodhoof and Bane Bloodhoof. Now, one of the leaders of the original leader of the Tauren, Cairn Bloodhoof, was one of the founders of the Horde. Together with Thrall, he assisted Thrall during the excavation, or the evacuation from the Eastern Kingdoms with Thrall and the Orcs. They came to Kalimdor and met Cairn and the Tauren in the Barrens, this area here to the east. And from then on, the Tauren and the Orcs have kind of lived together, well, not lived together, but they have cooperated a lot since then, because their societies are kind of similar. They are strong, and I guess they have shamanistic roots in the way of life, and they live in tribes as well. Welcome to your first true test as a Tauren. Behold, Dreamstrider, the very presence of the bristleback is a blight. Nothing is left in their wake but corpses and barren land. Camp Narache would become what we see here in but a few days unless we stand and fight. This will be your rite of strength, the first ceremony of a Tauren brave. Go into the heart of the thorn snarl and kill Bristleback Quillboar, then return to me. Simple quest. Oh yes, this is kind of like a test of strength. You heard at the first quest giver actually telling us that we are now of age, even though we kind of look just as old as the other guys here, but apparently we might be kind of young for a Tauren. So the Taurens, they... the reason I picked to play as a Tauren Druid and not as a Night Elf Druid or a Troll Druid, for that fact, is the fact that this... well, the Tauren, they don't have that much lore to talk about, so I figured it would be a good time to talk about the class instead, because the Druid lore is, well, it's kind of dense. There is a lot of lore on the Druids, as we've discovered in the previous episode with the whole thing about the Druids of the pack and how they relate to the Worgen. Well, they relate to a lot of other stuff in the world as well, and shaman, well, the elements and the balance of the world. So yeah, Druids are really interesting in what they do.
How may I aid
You fought well, Dreamstrider. We may yet be saved. Despite their size, the bristleback greatly outnumber us. A pack ambush can easily overwhelm even the largest Tauren. Many new initiates have taken up arms to defend our home. Some have given their lives, but others have been captured alive. Please find their cages and free them. The battle should keep the Quillboar distracted. So, yeah, we gotta rescue those guys they've trapped. So why did they trap them? I have no idea. But here we see the remains of a well. These used to be back in vanilla. I remember this well here. You had to go around to all of these wells and you had to focus this magic there. Some cleansing ritual, I believe it was. So anyway, he talked about the Cairn Bloodhoof. Bane Bloodhoof is the son of Cairn, and he was like the mayor of this village we'll get to eventually. But now he is the chieftain because Cairn Bloodhoof he fell during a duel with Garrosh Hellscream, a character we've heard a lot about during all of our like horde quest chains. He was the guy that prohibited Sylvanas to use the plague in the invasion of Gilneas, but she did it anyway. Garrosh was the guy who disagreed with Vol'jin, the troll, and he's now in Cataclysm the leader of the horde. Well, the leader, the war chief, more precisely. So he defeated Bane or Cairn in the duel, but it didn't go like honorably. He actually won because this other character that we heard about, the Magatha Grim Totem, she poisoned Garrosh's axe, Gorehowl, and that was eventually Cairn's demise, because Cairn was actually winning that fight, and he was a really strong fighter and one of the heroes in the Warcraft 3 campaign. Cairn Bloodhoof was a fantastic Tauren, rest in peace. But now his son is the leader of the Tauren, and he's doing his best to keep things going, I guess. So yeah, that's basically the recap for what has been going on. The Tauren, they are a really ancient race. They have been around since the Titan Keepers started to shape the world. These guys were animals. Well, they are animals, but they have ascended some form of intelligence. And they've lived kind of in balance with nature for thousands of years. Thanks to you, our people are free to fight for our home. We have struck a great blow against the Quillboar here. I will stay here and hold the line, but you need to move on. Seek Adana Thunderhorn. She has taken a few braves to the southwest to root out the rest of the bristleback.
Be careful.
And yeah, the bristleback, the Quillboars, as we mentioned, they are the spawn of the demigod Agamagan, and they are vicious, they are brutal, they have a small amount of intelligence. They live in these tribal societies, and they focus more on expanding and breeding and killing things to get food, so they're fairly limited in what they do. They can be a threat because of their numbers, but they aren't really like a significant one. Much similar to the Trogs in that regard. Just a moment ago, a messenger was looking for you, Dreamstrider. I believe she was sent out by the druid trainer Gart. If this note is from Gart, I wouldn't take long in reading its contents. We can read this thing. We also got some gloves here, that's nice. The spirits came to me in my dream last night. They told me of your coming, and that it would be my task to aid you. We have much to go over in our short time together, discussions about nature, the spirits, the Earth Mother, and even the Night Elves. But I will save the lessons for your arrival, and I will do all that is in my power to ensure that you are ready for the trials ahead. May wisdom guide you. I will be waiting. Guard Mistrunner, Druid Trainer. So yeah, he talked about something really interesting there, the Earth Mother. But let's get this quest first. More trials lay ahead, Dreamstrider. I hope you are prepared. It is my role to test our young initiates on the way of the hunt. And that hasn't changed. Today the Quillboar are our prey, telling us something about the hunting part of their society. One of the first lessons you should learn, Dreamstrider, is to never underestimate your prey. While we were distracted by the attack on Camp Narache, more of the bristlebacks swept in unnoticed and stole a cache of our rifles. You can see them to the south now, filling the air with lead. This is your right of courage. Brave the hail of gunfire, hunt the bristleback gun thieves, and bring back our rifles. And we also get another quest, Stop the Thorn Callers. Knowing the ways of your prey is another aspect of the hunt and the lands they come from. Quillboar live in the shade and protection of huge thorned roots when they move their shaman seed and grow new roots for them to live in. These thorns mar the land to choke out the other life, turning the earth around them barren. Go to the south and stop these thorn callers before they have chance to continue, Dreamstrider. So something is going on here, because these roots are of nature, of course, but you can see they are blighting the area. And what other things create this sort of blight? Well, we've seen something similar in Tirisfal Glades, in fact, with the plague. So, what the frickin' do these guys have to do with the plague? Well, that's a story for another day. It's a story for a dungeon that's coming up far, far in the future. But as you can see, these guys have gotten guns, so they are intelligent enough to use guns, apparently. And they can talk as well, even though these guys are merely just grunting. And they have this shaman here, so they have some connection to the earth, or to nature. And that's probably because they are connected to the... Oh, there we go. To the Agamagon. Well, there is actually a lot of lore that was added to the Tauren during the... after the release of the... we got a new spell there. Moonfire. A lunar spell that burns the enemy, and we also have a solar spell that causes nature damage, so we have the forces of the moon and the sun for our druid right now. Moonfire being a really nice spell, putting a dot on the enemies, being instant cast. Super, super nice spell. Especially if you're using a lot of heirlooms, you could just go around and moonfire all the enemies in the area. The Warcraft Chronicle is a novelization of like the origin stories in Warcraft, in Azeroth, and the universe. And while I read that book, I discovered a lot of things about the Tauren that I didn't really know until now. So previously, the Tauren, they were actually known as another race, known as the... hang on. They were the... I forget the name of this race. Well, anyway, they used to be another race, and it's so easy to remember that name, but my mind is blanking right now. Not the Tonka, but anyway. So this race was they lived in the land. They were like spawn of a certain demigod that we'll meet later on in Pandaria, in fact. And they settled down in the southern reaches of the world. Like in here, because back then the whole continent, as I said, was one big land that we know as previous Kalimdor. Let's talk about this to the end first. They kind of migrated south to live there, and eventually the Pandaria was shut off from the rest of the world. That's a good way to say this thing. Okay, let me start over. Okay, so first of all, the progenitor race for the Tauren were the Yaungul. And they turned into, they used to be a Yaungul tribe that lived in Kalimdor. And then some of them settled in the south. They are still Yaungul there on Pandaria. Some ventured up north, and they reside in Northrend now. They are the Tonka, and the rest of the Tauren in the middle, the rest of the Yaungul became Tauren. So that's how they started out. It is my role to test our young initiates on the way of the hunt. And that hasn't changed. Okay, we read that before. How many have you brought me initiates? I bought you some rifles here. Well done, Dreamstrider. Respect your prey and the danger it carries, but never fear it. In fear, you become prey yourself.
We shall meet again.
When the corruptor is slain, the Earth Mother will mend her own wounds in due time. The roots are not meant to thrive here, and will wither. Balance will return.
May the eternal sun shine upon thee.
There are more threats to be dealt with here. The bristleback are taming wild boars to be used against us. These armored battle boars have been abused beyond hope of recovery. They must be put down for our safety and their peace. Go to the pens to the south and slay them, Dreamstrider. Return to me afterwards. It is my role. Okay, it keeps popping up. We must do more than simply hunt boars here. The eyesore that has been left upon the land must be purged. To give them a wild thirst for blood, the battle boars are force-fed raw flesh. Wow! Take this torch and use it to burn the throes of meat and gore to cinders.
Walk with the earth.
So the quill boars have captured boars. Now the boars are more primitive versions of the quill boars, of course. They haven't ascended to like a humanoid state, so they have not developed intelligence. That's kind of the same thing as a Tauren and a cow or an ox, is the fact that the Tauren have intelligence and the others do not. So yeah. Let's not get into that. Okay, so we gotta take care of these armored battle boars here. They look kinda docile though, so we don't really have to worry too much about them. Let's just moonfire these guys down. We have to use this torch here to burn. Oh, we got level 4 as well. We gotta burn these throws here. Ah, look at that, filled with meat. Are boars carnivores? I think they are both carnivores and herbivores. I think they can eat meat. I think pigs can, of course, as well. But anyway, we learned a new spell here, Rejuvenation. So primarily, druids are really versatile. They can do a lot of things because they have 4 different specs, at least for now. They used to have 3. They used to be a feral spec, which included transforming into animals. They had a spec called Balance, which involved casting spells at range. And they also had a spec called Restoration, which involves healing other people. Primarily with heal over times, kind of like the healing version of a warlock, where warlocks deal damage over times to enemies, while druids heal friendly people over time. Now, feral has been split into 2, so we have a guardian spec and a feral spec. It is my... I keep reading that thing. Oh my god. Good work, Dreamstrider. Those beasts could have been a greater threat than the quill boar themselves if we had not taken action now. You've not only wiped the boar pens clean, but put a stop to a horrible desecration. Well done. Chief Squealer Thornmantle, that's a fine name, leads these quill boar. It was he that set upon Great Mother Hawkwind and took her life. That's the mother of the guy we first talked to. Leading the attack on Camp Narache. He fled and hid afterwards, and we have found him. He lurks to the west within his foul den of thorns, fending off any braves we send in after him. You've proven yourself a brave defender of our people, Dreamstrider. Kill Thornmantle and bring his mane back to Chief Hawkwind in honor of our Great Mother. So, you've heard about 2 types of mothers here. So, Great Mother is she's the mother of this guy here, the leader of Camp Narache. While the Earth Mother, mentioned here in this note, it's spelled, sometimes it's spelled in one word, sometimes it's Earth and Mother with Mother capitalized. She is actually, we'll meet her later on. She is known as Therazane. She is the leader of the Earthen Elementals. Well, she is the prime Earth Elemental on Azeroth. So yeah, that's the Earth Mother. And she is, she's controlling the Earth element of the world. Not to be confused with Alexstrasza, who is the Life Mother, or the dragon, the Life Binder. And Alexstrasza was one of the people we heard about back in the, Alexstrasza and Ysera, the true, like the green dragon and the red dragon. And back on the Night Elf, the big giant tree known as Teldrassil, because they wouldn't bless the tree when they first created that one. And they actually, Alexstrasza is, as a life binder, was one of the things that granted the Night Elves prosperous life, while Nosdormu kind of gave them eternal life, because he's the aspect of time, while the Earth Mother is more concerned with the Earth itself, not the life on the Earth. Well, that kind of speaks against what they said about the Thorns, though. So I guess they kind of are interchangeably influencing what is going on here. But yeah, Therazane and the Earth Mother is greatly linked to what is going on now with the Cataclysm. Well, because if the Earth is shaking and everything is exploding, yeah, how do you think the leader of the Earth Elements feel about that?
Oh.
Have you completed your trials, young one? Chief Hawkwind holds the mane of Thornmantle over his head. The chief of the Bristleback is slain. Great Mother Hawkwind spirit has been avenged. The camp is safe and the Quillboar driven off. All thanks to you, young one. You have my personal thanks for what you have done for my mother, my son, and for all of us. It is now time to put Great Mother Hawkwind to rest. Lay the final offering at her feet, Dreamstrider, and we will say our goodbyes.
May the eternal sun shine upon.
We also have to talk to Earth Mother. Into your arms we give you one of our own. She's Unaya Hawkwind, my mother, the great mother to us all, the wisest of our tribe. May her spirits fly to you swiftly. May the winds carry her gently, and the grass whisper her name. Watch over her as she watches over us. Let her look down on us with joy through the eternal gaze of Anshe, and Musha, until we too join her in death. For we are all born of you, and shall all return to you. Tells us something about their beliefs here. They have totems. They are heavily inspired by Native Americans, if you couldn't tell by the fact that they have similar looking totem poles and buildings as well. You have arrived. This is good. Our ancestors' spirits have become restless throughout Mulgore and beyond, but I cannot tell why. It will forever be your duty to learn to listen to nature's spirit and act as their avatar. Be mindful of that. Though we share a common bond, do not expect a much welcome from the Night Elves. Their pride still limits their sight, but that is none of our concern. The teachings of the Earth Mother are all you must concern yourself with, and I will teach you what I know as you grow in wisdom. Return to me, Dreamstrider. You will find that the Earth Mother grants incredible abilities to those who are the most dedicated. As you develop your skills, Druid, you will begin to feel your connection to the Earth Mother deepening. You will begin to understand new secrets of nature and learn to cast new spells. Go now, get more experience, and return to me when you have learned a new spell. Demonstrate what you have learned.
Ancestors.
We already learned that, so we can practice using Moonfire on the training dummy. Boop. There we go. You have a knack for the druidic arts, Dreamstrider. Wherever you go, your skills will be in demand. Return to me when you are ready for more training. Well, we should probably not going to do that because of the changes. Okay, let's offer the body now.
What brings you here?
There is a balance in all things. As Great Mother Hawkwind Spirit takes its final journey, you will begin your first. Today you have taken a rite of passage, far more difficult than we ask for of most of our youths. Be proud. Now it is time for you to continue on your journey. To the west beyond our burial ground you will find a path winding up the mesa. Follow it to the top and speak with Diane Windsor. Walk with the Earth Mother, friend. You will always be welcome here. That's kind of one of the totem, or the catchphrases. Well, not the catchphrases, but the token phrases of the Tauren. Walk with the Earth Mother. Ever since Warcraft 3. Yeah, we heard a lot about from the Druid trainer there that we learn our Druidic arts from the Earth Mother. Which is interesting. Because it tells us something about the connection between the Earth element and the Druidism. I'm not really certain if that is correct, to be honest, whether they've changed it right now, because Druidic arts are more related to the Emerald Dream and Ysera and Alexstrasza's life magic, because and the shaman arts are more connected to the elements. And back in episode 1, we talked about the elements. Well, not in episode 1, 3, I think. And we talked about the 5 elements: water, air, earth, fire, and the spirits. And the spirits, well, the not called the spirits, but that's like the name I usually refer to it as, the spirit of nature. And these guys, the druids, they also utilize this magic. They can heal with rejuvenation. This is nature magic. They can deal damage with wrath, which also causes nature magic here. And they also have arcane magic with the moonfire. Now, moonfire for the night elves especially is linked to the moon, of course, and Elune, as they refer to. And the arcane, well, it's linked to Titan magic as well. So, yeah, well, because the energy that actually created the Titans, that made like the Titan Keepers and all life on Azeroth, was the magic of order, which is the moonfire here. So since we are a balanced druid, we're using solar power and we're using moon power. Perhaps moon is the order and solar is chaos, and we are like channeling the balance between those two. So perhaps wrath, nature damage, is linked to fel magic, the chaos. Well, that's an interesting theory. If you are prepared to leave Camp Narachi behind, I will help you call the spirits to guide you onwards. Look, Dreamstrider, the rolling plains of Mulgore stretch before you, our home, the cradle of the Earth Mother. Here she provides us with all we could ever need, a peaceful and verdant land. This is what you will fight to protect. Your journey will take you far beyond her sheltering arms, to the farthest and cruelest regions of this world and beyond. Below us is Bloodhoof Village. The first step on your true path begins now. Drink deep of the water of vision, and let the spirits guide you onward.
Go.
So we can't really see that far now because of the draw distance. Can't wait until they change that in Legion. But yeah, down there you see Bloodhoof, and we see some of Mulgore, the cradle of the Earth Mother, according to the Tauren. A fertile land here in the middle of Kalimdor. So let's drink from the water we just received, the water of vision. Drink atop Fargaze Mesa to summon an eagle spirit. We become this little bird. Well, we become the spirit and then we are able to travel. You can see some huge trees there in the background. To the region to the south of Mulgore. And that is a zone called Feralas. It's it's an overgrown forest right now, but it's kind of tropical in its in its nature, I guess. So let's go down here. We can see the tops, the mesas over there of Thunder Bluff, the capital city of the Tauren. It's a mesa, flat top of a mountain with the buildings on top, tents, more like it. It's a beautiful city.
Well met.
Bane Bloodhoof, our high chieftain, once stood on this very spot and watched over this village, name for his tribe. So Blaine Bloodhoof is the chieftain of the Tauren and of the Bloodhoof tribe.
Goodbye.
We should probably talk to him and give him the quest. Welcome to Bloodhoof Village, hero. I am glad the spirits have guided you safely here.
Be careful.
Dreamstrider, there are many conflicts that wound this land. It is my hope that you will not bear witness to as many of them as our elders have. Yet there is one that I would ask you to seek. It will give you some sense of how terrible, if left unchecked, even a small threat can be to the land. Pale Mane Gnolls have settled to the south of Bloodhoof and in the cave to the west. They disrespect our attempts to communicate with them, and they slay the wildlife of Mulgore unbridled. Words are no longer the answer.
Ancestors watch over you. Farewell.
Shows us something about the Tauren not being too peaceful. We have a couple of more quests as well, but first I want to head to the inn here and make this place my home and bind our hearthstone. Because, yeah, we can also learn first aid, of course. We want to learn first aid. Always gonna learn that. Yeah. Let's make this our home. As the wind on the plains, you're always welcome here.
Go in.
Yeah, now we can rest here in these small beds here, or we can go up and have a chill out on the balcony behind it, overlooking this little lake with the small log. Such a calm place. Oh, there's a fish there. A crayfish. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video, and I'll see you guys in the next episode, where we'll continue off on Dreamstrider's journey throughout Mulgore. See you guys later. Bye bye.